Today we are making the queen of buttercreams called Swiss Meringue Buttercream. And not only are we making silky smooth vanilla, but we are also making dreamy chocolate, my absolute favorite chocolate frosting of all time. Let's do this. So to get started, you're going to need 4 large egg whites, some caster sugar, you can also use regular white sugar as well, some room temperature unsalted butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then for the chocolate version, you're going to need some 50% dark chocolate. I mean, you can also use milk or white chocolate, it just depends on what flavor you're going for. Now to get started, you want to separate your egg yolks from your egg whites, and the easiest way for me to do this is to just use my hands. So do 1 egg at a time and then place the whites and yolks in separate bowls. You don't want to crack an egg directly into your egg whites just in case your yolk breaks. It's really important not to get any yolks into your egg whites, otherwise it's not going to whip up properly. And that is my egg whites ready to go. Next, you're going to set up a double boiler or bain-marie. So to do this, you want to gently heat a little water in a saucepan, place a heat-proof bowl on top of it, and add in your egg whites and caster sugar. And then you just want to use a whisk to give it a good mix. Now the important thing here is to make sure that the water that's in your saucepan isn't touching the bottom of your bowl. Otherwise you're going to overcook your egg whites, which you really don't want. Now you basically just want to keep stirring this until your sugar is melted into your egg whites and you can't feel any sugar granules. If you have a thermometer, then use it to check the temperature, which should be around 75 degrees Celsius, or if you don't have one, simply use clean hands to rub a little of the mixture between your fingers, and if you can't feel any sugar granules, then you know it's ready. If you're using caster sugar, then it'll melt quicker than regular white sugar, which is an advantage to using it. Next, you want to add the egg white mixture to your stand mixer with the whisk attachment on it and mix on a high speed for about 10 to 15 minutes until the meringue has cooled down and you've got stiff peaks. Now you can do this with a hand mixer, but just be ready for an arm workout. I also like to mix my meringue about halfway through just to make sure everything's mixing well. Now I'm just going to quickly check my meringue to see where it's at. So you can see here that at the top there we've got those peaks kind of folding over a little bit, which means that our meringue isn't quite ready yet, but it is almost there. Okay, now that is looking pretty good. So if you take a closer look, you can see here that you've got these stiff peaks which are staying upright as opposed to kind of, wilting over, which means that we've got a nice good meringue ready to go. Now, if your mixture is still a little bit warm to the touch, then you can just pop it into the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes and then you should be good to go. Now, the next step is to slowly add in our butter to the meringue mixture. Now, it's really important that your butter is at the right consistency, so it should be firm enough to hold its shape, but soft enough that you can make a little dent in it with your finger. So turn up your mixer to a medium-high speed and then slowly add in your butter. Your meringue will initially deflate, but don't worry, this is totally normal. The key here is not to add in too much butter at once, otherwise you'll deflate your meringue too much, which we don't want. Now once all your butter is added in, you want to give your buttercream a mix, add in your flavoring, so I'm adding in my vanilla, and then you just want to let your buttercream do its thing. It's very common for Swiss meringue buttercream to look like it's curdling, but trust me, this is totally normal and you just want to let your mixer keep going until you end up with the most gorgeous silky smooth buttercream. Okay, now take a look at this buttercream. Now although our Swiss meringue buttercream is basically done, it still has some air bubbles in it, so if I run my spatula back and forth through the buttercream, you can still see some of those air bubbles showing through. Now a quick trick to get rid of some of those air bubbles is to swap your whisk attachment with the paddle attachment and then mix on the lowest speed for about 5 to 10 minutes until your buttercream is silky smooth. And that is it, the most dreamy, delicate, not too sweet buttercream that is perfect for decorating cakes and cupcakes and pipes incredibly too. Now to turn this buttercream into the most delicious chocolate Swiss meringue buttercream, all you need to do is melt some 50% dark chocolate in the microwave for 20-second bursts at a time, giving it a mix in between each burst until it's fully melted and silky smooth. Now all you have to do is pour this melted chocolate into your buttercream and gently mix it through on the lower speed of your mixer. Now because the chocolate was melted, it will make your buttercream slightly softer when you first mix it in, so before using it you want to pop it into the fridge for around 20 to 30 minutes just to set up a little, and then give it another quick mix in your mixer to get rid of some of those air bubbles, and then it's ready to use. Honestly, you guys are going to love this stuff. It smells absolutely incredible and it pipes beautifully as well. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. Apart from that, I'll see you in the next one.